Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a yoga. And I like to do these little daily little talks just off the cuff on how I see things, and spend some time collecting data. Lots of different venues, lots of different areas, lots of different sources, because they're just part of this big old collective soul soup, and it's it had been bitter, and the soup had been bitter for so long because there's all this low vibrational stuff, low vibrational stuff, greed, all this second subtext. I looked that up today. Subtext. Well, what is it? I know what I think it means, but what is it? Oh, okay, subtext. So there's reality, and then there's subtext, and I have a hard time with subtext because I just like dealing with my representation of reality, So that's why I don't like these man-made frickin' paradigms, because all they do is just keep coming up with rules, more and more rules. They don't even know their own rules, They don't even follow their own rules. They just keep coming up with more, and if they come up with something, and it ends up later shooting them in the foot, then they'll just come up with another rule to fix that, all this stuff, all this subtext under what people do in the spirit for other people, right? That is the biggest crock of subtext I freaking think, and it's just it's funny because all the astrology, I just if it were for astrology, I probably wouldn't be as in a good as a mood as I am, because I wouldn't know, I wouldn't know that people are, they're just, that low vibrational stuff doesn't work anymore. There's just no place for it in this world, so people are going to start seeing your stuff, and I can't wait till people start calling it out, BS. I call BS. I call BS. This guy's nonsense. This bureaucrat's nonsense. Because, I hate candidate season, because I think about the millions and millions of dollars that people spend on paper and flyers and all this stupid, pamphlets and leaflets that end up in, waste. Where are the laws that are saying, that you can't use all that stuff, that you're really concerned about the environment in every capacity, not just the ones that serve yourself. So all the self-serving people are freaking being blasted, man. They're being blasted out. I mean, more and more people are calling BS, school, universities, education should never be $200,000 for, and then you never get to pay them off, so only bankers get to get rich, and all that stuff is just getting re-fixed and re-modified, more people gotta freaking do stuff from within, man. You gotta come up with your own strength of character to stand up against whoever and be like, no, I'm not doing that, because it's just not right. But people don't do that because they got, expensive tastes and stuff like that. They have egos to feed and fast cars to drive, and you can't give any of that up, That's how I tell who the light workers, because I'm a light worker. I live and I work in light, and when there's darkness, I add my light, and it lightens things up a little bit. That's why I say that, may not be the most appropriate thing at the most appropriate time, but it always relieves tension, That's what people want, tension. What happens when there's so much tension? At some point, somebody's going to ignite that tension like a spark, and then that's where the eruptions happen. Not enough people know how to self-soothe, and that's what I try to do, is I just try to teach people to self-soothe, to calm yourself down, because nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else is going to do it. It's really great that all these spiritualists are popping up all over these places, They're traveling all over the world, showing you how to raise your vibration, that you too can travel, these wonderful places. Bad things happen to them too. That's that Uganda chick. Got kidnapped 3 days ago. People aren't safe. People aren't cautious. They live in an illusionary world that, they are amended, untouchable, nothing bad is ever going to happen to them. What was it, in the last week 3 people at the Grand Canyon died. People are just make stupid mistakes. They're just not like conscious of where their body is physically. You know, when there's a canyon behind you, you don't take your eye off the canyon and put it behind you while you're taking pictures. And this stuff is common sense, because I've spoken on this a year ago when I was like, all these big, you know, these public people are getting their 15 minutes of fame, and then they're using it to freaking show their demise and how freaking dumb they are for freaking just not being safe, you know. I understand accidents happen. Even the most safe people, you know, when it's your time and you're succumb, but you gotta think that these are the folks that let them be a lesson to us, you know what I mean? We gotta learn from other people's mistakes, and that's one of the reasons why I do these, is because I make a lot of mistakes, but oftentimes I make new ones. I don't keep making the same ones over and over. And for today, one of the biggest blessings, because there's a big vibration of escapism, it comes up. It seems to me that escapism is a prominent thread in the cloak of the blanket of the solar system. We're all just little threads, you know. How we make up, how we contribute, you know. Are we going to add to it or take away, you know? But it's all, this escapism is huge. So when escapism is big, you know, I like to keep things even keel. I don't succumb into that, because before I would succumb into that, you know. I could feel it, because it's all energy. All emotions is just energy, just different vibrational frequencies, you know. And we get you know, and we can be real high, you know. That's why people drink, is because they don't like the elation, you know. The elation, just gotta dull the senses. You gotta take the edge off. It's the edge that tells us that things are for us or not, you know. You know, so if you have to, like, you know, take the edge off every day after you're getting home from work, probably shouldn't be working there, you know. But people don't listen to that stuff. People would rather, you know, they stay in uncomfortable situations, because a lot of times, most of the time, it's out of freaking economic scarcity, and, well, I guess they're just not creative enough to come up with different ways to better their life. I'm constantly trying to think of better ways to better my life for myself and others, because if I can come up with something that's going to better my life and share it with somebody, who knows who it's going to help, you know? So during the escapism, yeah, used to tell me that this last year I spent my 15th year sober drinking, because of escapism. Yeah, no, I did. There were positive parts, and I learned a lot in that year. Yeah, I did. But I don't want to learn those same lessons again. And I'm good now, you know, because I don't know if I got another sober in me. You know, because the more sensitive I get, the more susceptible I am to what the toxins that alcohol do. You know, and the fact that people glorify alcohol, it's just really gross to me. When it causes so much pain and suffering and goddamn downright trauma in people's lives, you know what I mean? You never hear about stories about how people that have consumed alcohol throughout their lives have just become the most wonderful person in the whole right world. You don't hear that. They become freaking less of who they are, and usually end up can't even hold their bodily functions, and there ain't no spirit in that. There ain't no humanity in that, you know? So if people want to, you know, whatever, call it whatever you want, battle your demons, learn to love your inner child, whatever you want, you go at it however you want. There is peace to be found. People just need to recognize that peace to be found is within them, and they aren't going to be able to find it outside. And all the trying, all the examples that we see, is it working for you yet? Is it working for you yet? Because rich people are just getting richer, but people aren't getting happier on the world. So, you know, goes to show money doesn't buy happiness. But let's see how many people, you know. I know more people care because more people are waking up to astrology and stuff like that. And whenever I go out in public, usually I get a pretty warm response. So that tells me that more people are, you know, vibrationally in line with me, or I'm becoming more vibrationally in line with more people around me. So either way, it's a two-way street. Who knows? I'm done for today. I just wanted to pop on and say hi. I know that there's a lot of struggle in the world, and it just kind of feels like, just like somebody dropped the clock, you know? People are just kind of standing around. They don't know if it's nighttime, morning time. What do we do now? We don't know what time it is. Because time's fluid, and it's also weird, and it's changing so fast. Anyway, hope you have a rad day. Peace.